Tuneful Tuesdays and welcome to Masterworks, and we're going to be looking at an album by one Alice Cooper, and the album itself is Welcome to My Nightmare on Atlantic. Let me sidle up to this album. To begin with, let me address 1973, when a proto-punk glam band, the New York Dolls, appeared on a cult UK music television programme that was called The Old Grey Whistle Test. Well, it appeared late at night when no one was watching on the BBC's Backstreet TV channel, BBC Two, so cult sounds gentler than dismissed or shunned. Now, after the performance of this New York Dolls song, a song called Jet Boy, Whistle Test presenter Bob Harris reportedly dismissed the song, the performance and the band with a smiling two-word conclusion. He said this: he described them as mock rock. Now, surely the band's love of women's clothes should have really been tagged frock rock, I would say. Even so, I didn't really see Harris's label as a negative. Everybody else seemed to think that. I didn't. I thought it summed up the New York Dolls very nicely. This was a group that was satirical in many ways, and they mocked society with glee. As I say, others didn't see Harris's comment quite that way. But there was a hullabaloo, there was much comment about their scandalous attire and women's clothes. It was a bit of an entrance all round, and there were reverberations and vibrations from the appearance of the band on this BBC TV programme. Now, that was that. Ranging from 1971 to, oddly enough, 1973, the band Alice Cooper had hit upon a musical formula all of their own that would also get them noticed and labelled. Now, unlike the New York Dolls, that didn't mean covering themselves in ladies' clothes, although makeup did play a part. Alice Cooper found another way to create mayhem and to trigger revulsion, because many were revolted by the New York Dolls. In that same way, many people at that time were revolted by the Alice Cooper band. And you can add a lot of outrage and even some offence from the general public. Now, apart from their very appearance and stage moves, there was an awful lot of theatrics. The fake blood, the fake hangings, the electric chairs, the odd live reptile. And I'm not talking about any of the band members here. Cooper's view of the actress Anita Pallenberg as the great tyrant in the 1968 film Barbarella, well, that changed everything. In that film, she wore long black leather gloves with switchblade accessories. Cooper thought, well, Alice should look like that. That and, well, a little bit of Emma Peel from the TV series The Avengers. Accompanying that lot was a dirt-laden hard rock that smeared all over 1971's Killer to 1973's Billion Dollar Babies LPs. The fans loved the band, the music, the theatrics, and the public reaction. The New York Dolls were mock rock, apparently. Alice Cooper was shock rock, an epithet well earned. Nevertheless, shock rock eventually became tick-tock rock, because in 1973, time became the enemy as the band became the man. The Alice Cooper band was rent asunder, and the split meant that Vincent Fernier took the role of the reincarnated witch of the group's legend, sailing towards the horizon not on a broomstick, but on a Fender guitar. Fournier's first solo outing was this, Welcome to My Nightmare, an 11-track outing, a concept piece of sorts following the child who would become Stephen, the killer narrated with the aid of producer Bob Ezrin by the one and only Vincent Price. Cooper lionized Bob Ezrin. He said, "He hears things other people don't hear and seems to know exactly how to orchestrate things in a way you don't get with other producers." The album itself was recorded at Toronto's Soundstage and New York's Electric Lady and A&R Studios between 1974 and 1975, although the eventual LP appeared on the Atlantic label in the USA, Canada and Mexico. It actually turned up in the UK, Europe and Australia on the Anchor label. In many ways, the Jim Morrison-esque, breezy yet sinister introduction from the title track provides a contrast to the overall darker theme of the LP as a whole. The track Only Women Bleed is tremendously affecting, maybe more now than when it was originally released. It's a tale of domestic violence, offering a disturbing contrast with the orchestral arrangement and melodicism. Sinister, but less theatrical. Now, what was theatrical and holy Alice is the track Cold Ethel, a jolly tale of frozen necrophilia. I quote from the song, "One thing, no lie, Ethel's frigid as an Eskimo pie. She's cool in bed. And she ought to be, because Ethel's dead." Ah, Alice, he's on scandalous form with this one. The slashing guitars and rasping vocals take Alice into his comfortable hard rock territory. Now, Cooper might not be shocking his audiences in quite the same way these days. As Cooper himself said, it's impossible to shock an audience. We stopped shocking audiences when CNN came out. It used to be if I cut my head off on stage in 1970, there was nothing to compare that to. Now you turn to CNN and someone's really getting his head cut off by a terrorist or really getting hung. In mastering terms, well, generally speaking, mastering is excellent. There is a wide soundstage, there's lots of detail, heaps of clarity, plus a rather nice vintage 70s sheen of tape hiss, which is all rather lovely. Now you can relive that original nightmare because this album has been newly reissued and on clear vinyl, no less. So this rock is now in stock. And that's me done. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. And if I could ask you to click on the like and subscribe below, that would help me out no end and keeps the algorithm very happy indeed. If you want to check out below, if you want to have a look at the chapter headings that will enable you to navigate around this video, you'll also find other links down there. My social media links, there's a link to my website, there's also a link to my Facebook group if you'd like to join that, and also my Patreon page. If I could ask you to consider joining that, it helps this channel to keep going because all of the support I receive from Patreon, well, as I say, keeps this actual channel alive. I will be back on the weekend. If you are a member of Patreon, that's Friday. If not, then I should be around here on this YouTube channel Sunday, I would say. So there will be something hi-fi related. Just what that might be, I really don't know right now, but I will soon and I will keep you informed. Check out the community tab, it should be down there somewhere, and I will give you a few hints about what that might be pretty soon indeed. I hope to see you there, hope to have your company, and I hope you can join me. Until that time, folks, bye-bye for now.